Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading session. Hang on here just 1 second while I get you my monitor. I need to apologize to you guys for yesterday's session. I think I mentioned to you that someone had backed into the side of my van, and it's a minor repair. It's a dent about the size of a deflated football, and they were wanting to write off my truck because of it. And I've never had a insurance claim like that where they were actually going to write off my vehicle. So I was a little perplexed the last few days trying to figure out what to do. And yesterday was kind of the climax of that. So my head was certainly not in a good place, not screwed on right. But I had another discussion with the insurance company, and they're going to actually fix the vehicle. So problem solved, or at least for the time being. But it just goes to show you how when you're trading, you really do need to have your wits about you. You know, if you got things going on in your life, if you have, well, we always have financial stress, don't we? But if you have family issues, if you have outside stresses occupying your mind in a in a really bad way, then it's not going to help. Now, okay, the market's just opened up. Hold on a second. Put that. Oh, wait, I need that. We'll move that over here. That's my update from last night. The reason I'm looking at that is I've been keeping an eye on gold, and I've actually put gold in the mix this morning. So I wanted to just double check a couple of things on the gold market before I brought that forward. Okay, so we've just had the market open up, a little bit of an opening gap. If we take a look here on the Raptor, you can see that the market made a rather substantial advance in the overnight. I haven't taken the time to check the news releases and stuff to see what's been driving the market so much higher, but the fact is the NQ has been in a very big rally, and it looks as though it may be trying to fill some of that gap, which, you know, for a Friday is a very realistic proposition. So we did have a first micro macro cross here. That would have been inviting. Not really a signal here on the eagle. We did get the test of the extreme, the failure signal here, but nothing was in sync yet. Quite honestly, at that time, I would have been expecting a reaction to the hard edge. In fact, I think I would still be expecting a reaction to the hard edge there. So we'll give them just a few moments here to get their act together. Well, thanks, Mark. Mark says the pundits have been saying that the higher earnings have been favorable, and that's what's moving the stock market higher. Okay, just want to make sure I save everything here so I don't lose it again. All right, time to get to work. So let's see here. We're getting a little bit of a macro pullback, a little bit of a retest now. That's good. This is what we want to see. Very often if we get a big move out of the gate, that's going to set the tone on the day. You know, those first 5 or 10 minutes, if the market puts in a very strong move, sometimes that gives us that opportunity to get our daily bias. So we've got, oh yeah, here we go. Okay, the NQ's really picking up some momentum now. Perhaps another first micro-macro cross, and perhaps a day to put a runner in play. So we've had a green bar sell. Now we're getting a red bar buy. This does look a lot like a test of the extreme, and I'm taking too long here to identify these things. That would have been a good place to try to put a sell order in anticipation that the market's going to try to get back down here to the support level. Now we've got a first micro-macro cross signal, and at the moment I'm going to set it up to take it below the low. It would have been a little better to take it at this level right here, but so be it. There's not much I can do with it now. And the reason I'm taking it below the low rather than on the hash mark is because the market kind of hit this little bit of a sideways action. Come on, get down there now. Generating another signal. We do have, let's see, where's the top of this gap? 45.60. So there's definitely some room in here. Let's take a look what's going on the Falcon. Oh, we're printing a trend change signal on the Falcon, so we have a comparable opportunity here. And same thing, I think you would want to cover it above the high of this little swing. Obviously, the buyers showing their presence here, so we're looking at taking a second push on that trade. Okay, here comes that green bar sell. Looking for, oh, I can probably cancel that order right there because that signal is going to change. It's not unusual to see the buyers step up, but now that the sellers have made their presence known, I'm going to tighten my stop, and I'm going to change my stop strategy to something more aggressive. I should have had this ready. So that's all I'm going to give them. If the buyers rally the market at this point, then it's going to stop me out. And it just stopped me out. So for a smaller loss. Coming back with yet another first micro macro cross. Oh, and that now is into yellow bars. So it looks like we're looking at a market that may be in transition. It certainly is in chop. And now here comes the Raptor with a hard edge bounce. And we do have this little failure here. You see our test of the extreme. This is kind of shaping up to be almost like a head and shoulders formation. So look for a buy signal to print here. This will become what we refer to as our soft edge buy, but it could actually lead to a much larger move. See this little test of the extreme here. Like I say, it's an inverse head and shoulders style formation. They seem reluctant to head lower, at least at the moment. We might get a little bit of a push higher here. Where did we open this morning? Around 46.20. Okay, there's our buy signal. I'll just enter manually here. And I'm going to place my stop below the swing low. Now it's tricky because we're still against the hard edge. I'm putting a lot of faith in this little swing right here. The problem at this point is I don't know just yet whether or not the market is going to be moving into one of these sideways ranges or not. So we hit our break-even trigger. That's going to take a little bit of heat off. Hopefully we can ride out this little bit of a swing and at least get to our first profit objective. I should have maybe moved the break-even trigger a little bit higher. A little bit of resistance going on here. Thanks, Jim. Jim giving us some advanced decline numbers, almost 1,700 on the buy side and 1,000 on the sell. But again, remember, we had that big overnight gap, so that's going to skew those numbers a little bit. We're going to take a look at how they play out relative to, there we go, relative to that starting point as the day progresses. All right, so we hit our first profit target, hooray. And now I've moved into parabolics, which are also a more aggressive stop strategy, especially if the market begins to trend a little bit. They will be ideal. If the market starts to look a little choppier, I may have to go with the bar high low, which is also very aggressive, but will protect a little bit more profit than the parabolics. There we go. Jim said the DAX is pushing to a new high, as is the banking index, which seems to be spilling over here into the NQ confirming that. I would love to see it get back up here near the high, or the open, I should say, at 46.20. The overnight high, I believe, a little bit higher than that. Jim wrote, China dropped its rate a quarter point. Go figure, their economy is slowing and the futures popped 150 ticks. That seems to be the way the world is working now. There's no more bad news. There's no such thing as bad news anymore. Unemployment figures are up, housing is down, the market goes up. Interest rates go down, the market goes up. It doesn't matter. Everything seems to have a bullish flavor to it. You know, by all rights, if you look at everything technical, there is no reason the NQ should be trading at these levels. And I'm not saying that, you know, like a doomsday prediction or anything like that, but you look at these stocks and the NQ, and I know, you know, the NQ pretty much runs on a core group of markets. I know it's the composite, but even out of that composite group, there's really only 4 or 5 markets that are really driving the whole NASDAQ. And you got to wonder as to their valuation. And you look at the volume flowing in and out of this market, I would be much more comfortable shorting. And yet every time I short the NQ, it turns around and smacks me up the side of the head. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to learn that, but at least we had a little profitable move this morning on that little uptick. And Jim, yeah, I agree. It's complete insanity. And that's not to, you know, wish the stock market would decline. That's not it at all. I realize that falling stock market is hard on the economy. It's hard on employment. There's a lot of factors. Yeah, there you go, Tony. Tony says, new plan. Eric shorts the NQ and the rest of us go long. There you go. Just fade my NQ trades. You'll do fine. All right, so getting a little bit of cloud crossover support here on the NQ now, and this one I would have to go with the second push on the entry here, as the signal has already tripped. This on the Raptor again, and what we'll do is we'll enable the parabolics. A little bit of a push through the upside. You can see the width of the bars here on the dynamic equivolume bars. There was certainly some buying and selling going on at this bar right here. And maybe what we'll do is we'll retreat to a swing position. Yeah, Jim makes an interesting comment here. He says nothing is base economics anymore, and I think that's the problem. All the economists and bankers are having is they have no reference anymore. What worked or seemed to work 30 or 40 years ago, that manual is out the window. Okay, come on. Don't start lagging now. So we really need to see somebody get in here and buy 46.12. Oh yeah, I agree with you, Jim. Here, Jim says it's because they're allowing them to cheat the numbers, spin the statistics. I agree. I agree. bankers get to make their own rules, and it's different here in Canada because the banks are not as privately owned as they are in the U.S. They have to account to the government. The government only actually licensed 6 official banks. So there's a little bit more stability in Canadian banking. But even so, I remember back in university when I was taking law classes and such as part of my curriculum. The professor flat out told us when we were doing laws that were, related to finance and so on. He said, and he closed out the session, and if you go to work for a bank, you can disregard all this because it doesn't apply to the banks. They end up making their own rules. All right, I'm being a little bit aggressive here with the stop. We didn't quite get to the break even, and it may turn out to bite me, but the swing low is still back there. All right, come on, give me one more bullish bar, and then I would roll my stop here anyhow. There we go. So we've got the NQ pegged between a rock and a hard place now. Tons of support here around 46.07. Tons of resistance around 46.12. It just took a little bit of a look-see on the other side of 46.12, but I don't think they liked what they saw. Come on, get up there. No, they're going to tap me here in a sec. Let's see if I can sneak it to break even. Come on, just get up there a little bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, come on. One more tick. There we go. And again, I'm being ultra aggressive with my stop here. I'm not giving this trade any room. All right, we'll see whether that was a good call or not. It's that hesitation near the high. We're pretty close to 46, well, sort of close to 46.20. And I think that's starting to weigh on them a little bit. You can see all this activity around here. In fact, if you wanted, this is, again, a little bit more aggressive, but when you identify the market has these, pardon me, tight areas where it's pegged, that does open up the possibility of an OCO style trade where one cancels the other. Just bracket the range and not too tightly. You don't want to be brought in prematurely. We are getting a trend line touch signal here on the Falcon now. Oh, what happened there? Here, we'll simulate this. For whatever reason, my OCO disengaged. And I guess I better get a stop enabled here. So it looks like I was a little bit too impatient with my Raptor trade. As the market would have rallied and found my profit objective. Jim says he's not interested in trading today. 36 wins, 2 losers, up 502 ticks. That's fantastic, Jim. He says that includes a 190-point drawdown. Well done. Come on, keep going. One nice thing about the OCO trades, you can always manually set profit objectives, but by and large, they're all going to be runners. So I'll get more serious about a profit target. In fact, I'll set my profit target right here at our next resistance level. Oh, if they allow me to get there. Here, we gotta give it a little push with the mouse. No, they're gonna tap me at break even again. Oh, did I just get a reprieve? I don't think so, but we'll see. No, there they go. Tapo. Tap me out. Well, this is another region where the market is showing considerable congestion. Well, the lack of follow through is amazing. Probably picked up a buy signal on the eagle since all this is unwound, and sure enough, right here, our with trend signal. Just after the trend change, these do tend to be higher probability. Here's the overnight highs. It looks like around 46.30. And we're kind of pressing at the high of the morning at the moment. We would have hit our high probability target had I been running one, but we'll see whether or not we can't nurse this one a little bit higher, ride out a swing, which could be substantial. Come on, get up there. Come on, get going, you scoundrels. Mark is watching gold also, and yeah, I haven't paid, I told you I put gold in the mix this morning, but I haven't really shown you any of it yet. Let's take a look. And you can run gold on either the alternate settings or the standard settings. It will work fine on both. I've left it on the alternate settings, the 446 settings, only for the reason that it enables me to switch quickly between gold and soybeans. So if gold, for whatever reason, isn't doing much, I can flip back and forth between the charts. So if your chart looks a little different based on the standard settings, there's nothing magical about the settings I'm running here. You will get plenty of trades with the default settings. But in case you're wondering why mine looks different, that's why. So we had the market open back here, and we had, or this is the North American Open, and we had several signals come our way. First, our trend change signals here on the Falcon, and yeah, a very nice progression lower. And gold, of course, is a high value market. So if we took this, let's see where it ended up going. If you took it down to here, that's a $500 move. So certainly worth your while. Floundering a little bit. Maybe due for a little retracement. We shall see. Okay, so our trade did put in a reversal here. We captured a couple ticks in profit, nothing to get overly excited about unless you're my broker. And it looks like, look at that, we hit the top of the hour. Thank you, Jim, for your first hour indicator. Hit the top of the hour and boom, the buyers just disappeared. They took a walk and the market falls all the way back here to the hard edge. Oh, well done. Jim shorted that move. On the YM, sold 64 out of 51. Way to pick up a few ticks there. I'm looking for a little bit of a reaction now. Give me that test of the extreme, a possibility to resell this market, if in fact it is going to head lower. Almost seems to be setting up that way today. This early choppiness. Okay, so first micro macro cross signal here on the hawk, not as inviting as usual because, of course, no test of the extreme yet, right? So you probably have to risk it back there. I'm looking for a retracement, a macro pullback signal, something a little bit more palatable before I go whole hog on the short side. All right, so here's a macro pullback signal. Same problem though, trying to cover this trade. You know, the market very likely could retrace all the way back up here to 46.22. That is a long way to test the extreme. Okay, let's try this again. Macro pullback signal. Also working itself into a 4-arrow consolidation, perhaps. I really think it's going to go a little bit higher from here. Give me a yellow bar so I can kill this trade and not feel bad about it. Although I do say I take 4-arrow consolidations off yellow bars, don't I? So I'd still be Looking to short it. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a scalp. Come on, get down there. No, no, I had a feeling they may try to push higher. Come on, give me a couple of bars. There we go. We'll get this stop in, and once again, we'll go with something more aggressive. See if we can't minimize our risk exposure. There we go, hit our break even. All right. Now we're playing on their dime. If we take out the low, this could develop into a more substantial swing. We should at least validate this first micro-macro cross signal. Well, we picked up a little bit of profit. And what I mean by validate the first micro-macro cross is we know it's a high probability signal, right? So had we taken it here, oops, let's do this a little closer so I can get my profit target. So profit target is down here at 46.02. You would think a move to 46.02 is probable. That's our high probability profit target. And therefore, in theory anyways, if we allowed this trade enough wiggle room, we could see 46.02. Okay, another first micro-macro cross actually. Oh, and here we're now on our way to 46.02. I'm going to be too late for that one. It is a first micro-macro cross because everything goes out of sync. Bars are out of sync. Trend lines are out of sync. Filter is out of sync. I'm not going to get another chance to get in there, am I? Nope. Oh, we just got to wait them out a little bit, see what they're up to. There's 46.02. There we go. So we would have hit our high probability target. Let's see if they give us a little bit of a reversal now as a result. Okay, working. I know I'm doing a lot on the hawk here this morning. Maybe we'll take a look at this red bar buy that's on the eagle. Now, it's currently not in sync with the ATR. A lot of times what we've been doing is we've been allowing the ATR to act as a filter. So we actually let this bar turn the ATR over and then use that bar as our signal bar. But here we have a possible red bar buy. We're getting a green bar sell, which you could sell with the trend, or in this case, it may be safer to set it up for a buy and a failure. Nice thing about doing the green bar sell this way is, well, we know the green bar sell tends to occur at the end of a downtrend. Now, not always. Sometimes we see some big recoveries out of a green bar sell, but they do tend to develop later in the life of a trend. And sometimes doing the reverse or the counter trend of the trade gives us a little bit more structure, because in this case you can see we can put our stops right below the current low. And that has since nixed, and now we're into a first micro macro cross, which, doggone it, Eric, you're too slow today. All right, well, let me clear that. Let me clear this. Oh, we had a nice little hard edge bounce here on the Raptor. Double pullback into the hard edge. Kind of in the middle of this morning's trading range. Come on down. Okay. Thanks, Jim. Jim says that was a few minutes ago, that the bank index made a new high. They've slowed a little bit, lost some of that early luster they had. And almost looks as though they are tracking sideways again. The advanced decline number is still kind of holding even. Jim says we got 1,900 on the buy and 900 on the sell, more or less, so we're still hovering around that positive 1,000. Back near the lows of the morning. Are we really going to see some follow through here? All right, come on, give me a signal now. Well, I'll be honest, I'm a little leery this close to the lows, but we do get a chance here for a second push on this entry. Still trying. Very, very important bar we got going on right now. All right, there we go. Don't stop now. I guess I'd better get a stop and play. Just about tagged the break even, and here, I'll try to give him a little bit more room on this. Let's go back a few. No, let's do this and this. There we go. The thing with the parabolics is sometimes they can be just a touch too quick. Go away. Come on, sellers, where'd you go? There we are. Okay, this is their last chance. If they fail here, well, they're likely to rally the market, so I might as well take my medicine. Okay, we'll see whether or not they rally the market up now. whether I got caught in the action again. In fact, this failure that we see right here is the precursor to our soft edge buy. Now, we're almost at the hard edge, but let me show you how this works. So I'll throw in a buy order, and we'll actually place it below the swing low. And what we're looking at here essentially is, again, we're working off of this failure here. Now, it's tricky because this failure may turn out to be nothing more than a bear flag or a bear style flag. In which case, if we break back below the lows, we could be in a little bit of trouble. But very often, when you get these types of failures, you'll see the market at least attempt to rally back to the hard edge. Now, this is all very close. It's a much better looking signal when you get this type of situation, where you've got some room to the hard edge. You get your test of the extreme, right? The market goes up, comes down, tests, fails. This sell signal developed a little bit late, but this is our soft edge sell. We would anticipate the market would retreat from here to the hard edge. And now it hit the first hard edge, gave you a little bit of heat, came back and found the second hard edge. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the reverse side. If I can find you one. Yeah, my trade isn't going to allow me to show it to you. The formatting here on the chart is messing everything up. But you get the idea. So we get that failure. We anticipate a move back to the hard edge. We'll see if I can't stack a couple of bullish bars back to back here. No. So we just broke down out of this, and they're going to attempt to run my stop. Last chance for the buyers. Come on, give me one more bar. Here we go. All right, I might as well go with the bar high low strategy. Same idea, you know, if they fail now, then I may as well get stopped early. If they can't take out this high, then I may as well take my trade and go. Let's see, we're struggling at the high again. No follow through. All right, well, a couple minor tags there, nothing too terribly serious, but annoying all the same. You can see just a period of congestion as the market starts to waffle a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more sideways action here, more yellow bars, just showing us a choppy market that they're really not ready. Way back here, we've got a green bar sell that you could, if you're, you're really desperate for a trade. That green bar sell, that failure is still a valid signal. It hasn't been tripped, not to the upside. Oh, and there we attempted to produce a first micro-macro cross signal. A lot of heat. Ay, 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 ay. So we're getting sell signals on the Raptor. We're getting a sell signal here on the Eagle. If I shoot a trend line right across here, you can see my hesitation, why I'm hesitating. Everything is in sync. If I take it below the low, shoot, can I cover it up there? No, I can't. Can I cover it up there? Yes, I could. These lows right around here, those are the troublemakers. Oops. First micro macro cross to the short side. Same problem. Yeah, where are you going to cover it? Where's your safety net if you're wrong? Oh, crude oil just put in a nice little rally here on the Falcon. A little trend change signal and a late filter entry. Confirmed by the support on our support and resistance suite. confirmed by the test of the extreme, the breakout above the high. So this was actually a pretty sweet little move. I wish I had looked over a little bit earlier. Just kissed our high probability target, although I would anticipate a move maybe here to 45.12 would be within reason. Okay, we can nix that. We'll clean this up here too because this is no longer valid. Almost had a green bar sell. Possible trend change on the Falcon. I know I'm stubborn with this green bar sell. The choppiness, the fact that this is the second green bar sell, the reluctance of the market to head lower, give me that sell signal so that I can set up to buy you. Come on, you stinkers. First micro macro cross, but we're not all in sync yet. Kind of at the top end of this congestion that we've been experiencing. So this little region right here, kind of looking like that. Back at the top end of this whole mess. See whether the sellers step up now and try to force the market down, or whether the buyers will keep control. I'm almost thinking buyers. Okay, so here's our first micro macro cross signal again. We don't need to rush into this, but the hash mark's going to print right there. I'm going to try to cover the trade reasonably deep. Ideally below the swing low would be ideal. All right, so we hit one profit target, hit our break-even trigger, and don't look back. Oh, well, at least we took profit on one. getting some interesting cross signals now. The Hawk and the Falcon looking a lot more bullish. The Raptor and the Eagle still a touch bearish. It's funny, that opening gap really seems to be drawing the market, trying to get them to move lower. Here we go again with a macro pullback. And once more, I'm a little reluctant to place my stops overly tight. Come on, get up there. Get up there. So this high now at 46.03 and a quarter is going to be a big deal. That high up there and the low way down here at 45.91. That's kind of where all the action is taking place. Everything in between here is choppiness. Come on. Last chance for the buyers. Come on, give me one more bar. Well, this bar and one more bar. Come on, get going. Hey. Well, you know, if I were smart, I would roll my stop right below there. Alright, so now I've got my last chance for the buyer's move. Ooh, and they tagged the break even. Alright. Oh, and they hit our first profit target. My reluctance to roll my stop is due to exactly this thing here. When the market is floundering like this, you know there's going to be a little stop hunting going on. And that doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a full-out reversal. Rather, that You may get a temporary little break here, and then the final rally. Like, how often have you in the past traded where you set up your trade, you buy here, and oh, I'm going to be really smart, I'm going to keep my stop close by. Market brings you in, flounders a little bit, stops you out, and then advances. If you're like me, it's more times than you care to remember, if you can even count. Like, it happens so often. So the best way to avoid that is to place your stop as far away as you can. Think safety net. You're walking a tightrope, or you're on a trapeze. You're not supposed to use that safety net, but it's there in case you need it. Oh, loads of volume here. Look at these bars. Come on, just give me that little push. Get going. Tapped us on a little bit of a retracement there, but that's all right. And now they're stalling again. What's with that? Well, if they stall, oh, here they come, and they come back down here one more time, we might actually, it'll be put up or shut up time for the buyers. Oops, daydreaming here. We had a late filter, or pardon me, I'm looking at a late filter entry signal here, and I think we're also getting a first micro-macro cross signal. Okay, here they come. Okay, first micro macro cross lower. Definitely seeing a test of the extreme here. Okay, that's into yellow bars, so that's off the table now. Oh boy. This sideways congestion is just crazy. It's like I mentioned before, if you wanted to set up to short here and buy here, that's probably your best scenario right now. Oops. All right, well, there's just kind of hovering in this whole area, and it's probably because we're nearing the top of the hour and they're getting a little tired, I think, of working all morning. Yeah, Jim says the YM's on the low of the morning session. The NQ just hovering above there. I think we're going to get a little bit of a rally here. They're struggling. Well, they're struggling both ways, really. I was going to say they're struggling to head lower, but they're struggling to head higher too. Oh, come on. They're still just hovering here. All right, you guys, we might look at closing up the room. I don't think we're going to miss too much. I do anticipate a rally still. If you're following the market for the rest of the day, I think we might see a rally come off of this lower end. You see we're starting to get triple dots here on the Falcon. We did get some selling opportunities here, but there's just so much congestion down here. I'm a little bit reluctant to get too crazy about it. All right, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I will see you guys again on Monday morning. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.